Here is Bandai's DX VF-1J, which was released December 29th. Okay, now just look at all. There are no stickers on this. Everything has been tampo printed on. Yeah. I mean, look, you could I'll show you. Just look at all the little libraries you got here. Everything is just. Look at that. They even tampoed on Hikaru Ichijo. It's just so well done. Even on the gun pod, everything is just tampoed. The bottom, look, all of the, look at that. Look how awesome that is. No stickers, everything tampoed on. Some of the features in fighter mode. If you had the Yamato 148s, you'll remember that these wing flaps can be risen, lowered, and as you can see all the little no step signs. I thought that was a very nice touch. And the air brake also returns. Okay, there you go. And it's also slightly detailed inside as well. That returns from the 148s. And these feet, a lot of the weight from this Valkyrie, it's all in these die cast feet or thrusters. Solid, both pieces, very sturdy. Okay. And there are the landing gears, similar to what you've seen in the Yamato, but again, all these struts are all die cast. And as you can see, I'm going to put one in, push this in, push it down, and you just close up the landing gear doors like so. The mechanism is very sturdy. I will caution you a little bit. The doors are a little close to this flap, so you might want to avoid trying to scratch this, some of the paint coming off right there. Again, very well done though, very well done. But again, here's the front landing gear. This is all die cast, rubber wheels. And you just push that in. A little hinge right there. Push that in. Again, everything's secured, nice. And another look at the UN Spacey kite. Vermilion leader, I thought that was a nice touch. And there's a look inside the cockpit. Again, very detailed. The heads-up display looks exactly like it should from the TV series. You can see the little controls inside as well. Again, very awesome. Attention to detail is just mind-boggling. Okay, and there's your little Hikaru figure. Okay. Okay, going into Gerwalk mode. Okay. There's a little tab here that connects to the back. This backpack right here. There's another small little tab here. Similar to other Valkyries. Tab gets removed. And there's the other tab. Okay, so there's a better look at the UN Spacey and the fin. Now again, I said before, this leg, all die cast. Okay, can be rotated up, down. And there's a bit of a look at the detailing inside. It's all metal. Again, that's super awesome. And this leg can be extended for that girl walk joint. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Can be swiveled, of course. Okay, so you move this knee joint out of the way. Okay, and look at that, you can swivel it. Okay. Here's a look at the Gerwalk joint again. Again, it's this lower half of the Valkyrie, I'd say that there's where most of the die cast is. In the feet and inside the structure, there's a die cast housing. It feels very sturdy. This is where all the weight is. And it just gives you a really good A stance. Focusing on the backpack of Gerwalk. Again, similar to other VFs, these two fins are folded in. Okay. Okay, they fold down nicely. Okay. And again, you rotate forward, like so. And this little flap gets. Okay, another neat feature that I haven't seen too much of represented in any of the newer Valkyries. Now, on the Gerwalk backpack, you've probably seen this, or maybe haven't seen this, but in the line art, there's supposed to be a little antenna, and you just plug that in. Apparently, that's how it's supposed to look. There's supposed to be a little antenna on the backpack in Gerwalk. Well, actually, this has been done in the old Yamato 148s, but when you would pull it out, it'd just be a little tiny stub. But again, it's supposed to be as big as this. And Bandai has also given you 2 of these antennas. So I thought that was, again, a nice little touch. Another nice feature I've noticed is that this little fin right here, you can push it in. So when you put the backpack down, it doesn't scratch too much against the wing. Thought that was a nice little touch. For the arms, and the delivery system is a little different for this for this Gerwalk. Okay, so the arms they're held by 2 tabs. 2 tabs here. So you see the 2 tabs holding the arms in place. Now there's 2 hinges on a slider. So what you do is that you can pull the arm back. Okay, pull the arms back. Okay, and the plastic here all seems pretty sturdy. Let's just hope it stays that way, because this is going to take a lot of movement, back and forth, back and forth. It looks like it's been reinforced very well. Okay, and as you can see there, it makes things a lot easier when transforming from fighter to Gerwalk. By having the arms back here, you can deploy the arms a lot easier. Okay. Okay, so moving the arm joints out into the correct position. As you can see right there, there's the joint I was talking about. And there's a shoulder joint right here. And turn that around. Okay. And you move that hinge into place. Okay, and then you just push it forward. Okay, so I've folded the wing back so you can get a better look at the arm. Okay, so again, the housing is There's a die-cast housing inside, which reinforces all the weight. Again, you could tell this joint has been just really well done. You can see some of the die-cast inside. Okay, so the left arm is still a little stiff. I need to get all the get it worked out, get it all smoothed out. But the arm can rotate at the bicep, and you do have an elbow. Elbow can be posed like so, elbow joint. Okay, and for the hands, you have to make sure there's enough room for this to be popped up. And inside, similar to the old 160s, there's your hand. Again, very nice looking. All of the fingers can be moved independently. This is probably the nicest Valkyrie hand I've ever seen for these variable fighter figures. You can move each of the fingers. Again, maybe a little on the small side, but you do have the chunky hands, which I will show you a little later. It can be rotated like so. And again, very well done. And there's the grip for the gun pod. And boom. Gerwalk mode, check that out. Isn't that sweet? Okay, I'm actually going to talk about this gun pod, as you see here. Okay, here is the gun pod. Again, the most detailed gun pod, GU11, UN Spacey. Okay, and it collapses. So you can store it in fighter mode or on the shoulder in batch raid mode. Now what makes this different is that there is a rubber strap here. Remember with the old Yamatos or the 148s, you had to ring the loop through the plastic to get them on, and that's sort of a pain in the butt. But with this, it's much easier. They made the strap removable, which is not, it's not removing right now, but there you go. Little peg right there. Okay, that's it. You do get a DX stand, similar to what you see with the Macross Delta Valkyries. This one supports all 3 modes. Not a fan of the base, but it does its job. Okay, going from Gerwalk to Batroid. Okay, now you do detach the intakes from the main body. Okay, you just pull down like any of the other Valks. Okay, there you go. Comes right off. Now, the biggest difference between this and other Valks is that the T-bar, you could not disconnect it. It was one solid piece of metal, okay? But with this brand new DX, there's a new waist swiveling system, okay? So again, this came loose, but it'll come, it's supposed to. So there's your bottom half, again, which I said before has all the weight, and your top half, okay? So again, this is going to be attached and reattached. Don't worry about it. It's supposed to come off. And a better shot of that hinge. Here you go. So this can be opened or closed. Again, it's just supposed to keep it in place during fighter. Don't worry about this. I would recommend you take it off when transforming. Since it's so heavy, you don't want to be, holding them together at the same time transforming it. I think it makes things a lot easier. So again, it's supposed to come off. Okay, so this is how the bottom of the top half looks. As I said before, the T-bar is now can be it's not a T-bar anymore. It's two pieces that can be separated. Okay. Okay. This plate gets popped loose. There you go. Okay. Popped loose. Slid forward. Okay. Backpack piece gets moved up. Okay. After some slight tidying, there is a little bar that you can rotate around. Okay. This gets plugged in but underneath and behind the head, so it'll keep the two halves together. So you just push that little bar down right there and it'll plug in. Okay. Okay, there. So it plugs in like so, keeping both halves together. Okay. And the backpacks get pushed in. Okay. There you go. And these little folds get pushed forward. Okay, again, making it sitting very flush. Looks great. Angle the head into position. There you go. Rotate the head lasers. And again, these can be rotated outward, which is how I like them to look. There you go. That looks awesome. Okay. Okay, another neat part I like, which is what you've probably seen in the Arcadia or Yamato 160s, are these option side parts. They make Batroid mode look great. You just pop them in. Okay. And same as before, you put them both, and you reattach the bar at the top. Okay. Okay. There you go. It's a bit of everything locks together very securely. You get a little nervous at first, but all you gotta do is just make sure it's all plugged in and everything's in the right place. You'll be fine. Okay, and there you go. One interesting thing that I'd like to point out, I didn't tell you about during the fighter mode, is that the nose cone can be rotated backward. I'm guessing this is for the upcoming GBP armor set. Okay, so attaching the bottom half to the top half. Get your little finger in there. Pull downward, okay? And this, you open this hinge up right here. Okay, there you go. So this is what the T-bar on the bottom half is going to plug into. It's going to plug into two locations, here and here, okay? So you take both halves. Okay, yeah, and everything plugs in. It plugs in here and here, 2 points. Okay, I think it's neat. Yeah, so no more T-bar again, and then you just close it up like this. Yeah, it locks in for the most part. I mean, it's locked in there. It's locked in there tight. See? Okay. Then close it up, and there is Batroid mode. Okay. Another thing, this little shoulder piece can be rotated out to give it more size. And here's the beefy hands, TV hands, I guess. You get a right hand with the open finger for the gun pod. Get a left hand, a left open hand. You also get a right and left trigger hand for the gun pod. Right and left closed fists. And right and left open hand. One of the big firsts for this variable fighter is the addition of a little joint right there, okay? So this allows for extra degrees of mobility, movement in the leg, about so. Now it may not be much, but take a look at that. You can get this leg outward, making a pretty good A stance, so you get some pretty wide stances. That's pretty awesome. And I was a little worried about this joint at first, but man, it's really sturdy. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. And again, look at that waist movement. Couldn't really get waist movement like that before. I mean, think with the old 148s you could slightly, but and if I raised the wings up, check out that waist movement. Oh, again, let me just make sure I don't want to knock any parts off here, but that's some pretty ridiculous waist movement right there. Okay. Apologize for all the angle changes, but this thing is just so friggin' huge. I put it on my rotating base. And again, these normal DX stands, they support all 3 modes. This might be the best VF1 ever made, I think so. It's well put together. Super tempo printing. It's hefty. It's got great articulation. Transformation is fairly simple. And you know that Bandai is just going to make a ton of these. And I'll probably pick up a 1S and 1A. Will we see the lint or ostrich? Who knows? But I'm definitely going to do my part to pick a few more of these up. Again, I apologize for all of the shift changes, but this thing is just so huge that it's not going to fit in any light box I have. So it's huge, huge. And just for a size comparison, that is it next to Arcadia's Armored VF-0S. Alright, so I got mine for about just under 180 shipped. Great price. It arrived there super fast. That's all you get, including the stand I'm going to show you in a minute or two. The first run stand, that is. You get the hands, you get the sets for the DX stand, the 2 antenna. Yeah, but you don't get missiles. So apparently that is coming out in May. That's gonna run you another 40 to 50 bucks. So once you add everything up, it's gonna be, you definitely get your money's worth, but the add-ons are gonna cost you in the future. But again, you're still gonna want to pick up one of these bad boys. Okay, again, definitely last look at that joint in the back, since that's what probably I think a lot of people are gonna want to talk about. Again, it's very sturdy. Nothing is flopping at all. It's like it's one whole piece, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Again, that is snug and secure in there, okay? And one last thing I want to show you is the T-bar placement, okay? So this side, that's how it's going to be positioned in Bachelorade mode. Again, this part plugs into the back of the heat shield, or sorry, not heat shield, the back of the nose cone. And in fighter mode, that's how it's supposed to look. This flat part here, that's how it's supposed to look in fighter mode. So that's how it's going to plug in. Okay? Again, 2 different positions, but again, it's tight as heck. Okay? And here is the final item I'm going to show you. It's the display base that comes with the first run of these VF-1J. Again, I believe it's only used for fighter mode, but it does look super gorgeous on it. Check that out. Sweet. Okay, and then there's a shot of the bracket underneath. As you can see, that's how it's going to look in the center rotation. But you can change the position if you want it to bank to the left or right. And there you go. The Hikaru's VF-1J banking to the right. So what do you think? Let me know. What do you think about this new Valkyrie by Bandai? Will you be supporting? How many will you be buying? Any questions? Feel free to ask. And there you go. Here's my review for Bandai's DX VF-1J Hikaru Ichijo. Thanks, and have a great 2019.